in pursuance to the Vedic version. Number 5, to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination. Number 6, to give some interpretations to the holy name of the Lord. Number 7, to commit simple activities in the strength of the holy name. Number 8, to consider chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities, Karma Kanda. Number 9, to instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. Number 10, not to have complete faith in the chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to achieve the desired success. Krishna Prema. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I once again welcome all of you to the Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call. So today we will be moving on to our next session, that is Srimad Bhagavatam. Before moving to the next session, I would like to know who all are present on the call today. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, and all the glories to the assembled devotees. This is Manjri Leela Devidasi from Naperville. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Manjari Leela Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call and giving us your association. Hope you had a wonderful Vrindavan Parikram also. Hare Bol.
Yes, from Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from College Station, Texas.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call, and thank you for all your services in Bhakti Sangha. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji, all good Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharajis. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devidasi from Raleigh.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Kumari Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call and giving us your association every single day. Hare Bol. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji, Dandavat Pranam to you and all Vaishnava, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev Ki Jai, Vrinda.
Hare Krishna, Vrinda Gopika Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all the assembled devotees. This is Indulekha Karuna Devidasi from Lincoln. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Indulekha Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call and giving us your association. Thank you for all your services on Bhakti Sangha. Hare Bol. Anyone else who would like to introduce themselves? Hare Krishna. Anyone else who would like to introduce themselves?
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj, all glories to assembled devotees. This is Mohini Lakshmi from Detroit.
Hare Krishna, Mohini Lakshmi Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna. I think we can move on to the recording, Mataji. But Prabhuji has not joined. We can move on to the introduction. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I once again welcome all of you to this Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call. So today we will be moving on to our next session, that is Srimad Bhagavatam, which will be given by His Grace Braja Mohan Prabhuji. But before moving to the session, I would like to hand over the call to Her Grace Tiffany Mataji for giving brief introduction about His Grace Braja Mohan Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Tiffany Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to all your services also. Hare Bol Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. So lovely to see you. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So this morning, we are so fortunate to have His Grace Braj Mohan Prabhuji on our call today. It's been a while since we've had him with us. Prabhuji is a monk, a life coach, and an inspirational speaker. Prabhuji is a disciple of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj and a resident monk at ISKCON Chowpatty in India. He is a student's mentor at the Indian Institute of Technology in Bombay, where he also earned a B.Tech degree. Prabhuji has a Master of Science degree in quantum physics from the University of Illinois in Chicago. Mohan Prabhuji has given seminars on science, spirituality, leadership, relationships, and self-development. He has been speaking on various topics at prestigious universities and at several corporations in the US and in India for over a decade. Using ancient wisdom for current dilemmas, his message inspires the audience to think deep, act right, and live full. Hare Krishna, welcome to the call, Prabhu. So wonderful to take your association again.
Prabhuji is
Krishna,
not there
Mataji.
yet in the call, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you for giving that brief introduction about Prabhuji so gracefully. Hari Bol. So we still Prabhuji has not joined the call. So if anyone wants to introduce themselves, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji. This is Kamadiki Dasi from Baltimore. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Mr. Guru Maharaj, and all the devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Kamadiki Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for giving us your association every day, and you are just an inspiration for us all. Thank you so much for that. Hare Bol.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Aditi Devi Dasi in Canada, Edmonton.
Hare Krishna, Aditi Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining us every day and giving us your association. Hare Bol.
Hare Bol.
Prabhuji has not joined, so let's wait for Prabhuji. Till then, we can chant till Prabhuji joins.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram.
Mataji, if time is there, can we sing a bhajan, Mataji?
Mataji, what is that? Can you repeat again?
No, if Prabhuji is joining a little later, can we sing a bhajan?
Yeah, you want to sing, Mataji?
Yeah.
Okay, Mataji, sing.
Hare Krishna. Sucharu Vatramandalam Suparnaratnakundalam Sucharchitanga Chandanam Namami Nandanandanam Sudirghanetra Pankajam Shikishikandamurdajam Ananga Koti Mohanam Namami Nandanandanam Sunasikagramouktikam Swachanda Dantapanktikam Navambudangachikkanam Namami Nandanandanam Karena Venuranjitam Gati Karendra Ganjitam Dupulapita Shobhanam Namami Nandanandanam Tribhangadeha Sundaram Nakadyuti Sudhakaram Amolya Ratna Bhushanam Namami Nandanandanam Sugandhanga Saurabham Muro Viraji Kaustubam Spurat Srivatsalanchanam Namami Nandanandanam Vrindavana Sunagaram Vilasanubhavasasam Surendra Garva Mochanam Namami Nandanandanam Vrajangana Sunayakam Sada Sukha Pradayakam Jaganmana Pralobhanam Namami Nandanandanam Shri Nandanandanashtakam Pathetya Shraddhayanvita Taret Bhavabdindustaram Labhet Tangriyukmakam Namami Nandanandanam Namami Nandanandanam Namami Nandanandanam Namami Nandanandanam. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji joined.
Thank you so much, Anita Mataji. My beautiful Hare Krishna. Mataji, Prabhuji hasn't joined yet.
Okay, then
Yeah.
I can
We
read the
have
translation for
I
this.
sent a message. He'll be joining Mataji. Yeah, but it might take time. Yeah, you can read the meaning, Mataji. Yes, yes.
Okay. So this is the Nandanandanashtakam. So for this translation is, I offer pranam to Nandanandana, whose face is extremely delightful, in whose beautiful ears hang jeweled earrings, and whose entire body is anointed with fragrant chandana. I offer pranama to Nandanandana, whose eyes are more beautiful than the fully bloomed lotus, whose head is beautifully adorned with an arrangement of peacock feathers, and who enchants millions of cupids. I offer pranama to Nandanandana, from whose beautiful nose hangs an elephant pearl, whose teeth are immensely effulgent, whose bodily complexion is more beautiful and lustrous than a fresh rain cloud. I offer pranam to Nandanandana, whose lotus hands hold a flute, whose lingering gait defeats even that of an impassioned elephant, and whose dark limbs are beautified by an yellow shawl. I offer pranam to Nandanandana, whose threefold bending posture is exquisitely elegant, the effulgence of whose toenails put to shame even the moon, and who wears invaluable jewels and ornaments. I offer pranam to Nandanandana, whose body exudes an especially beautiful fragrance, and whose broad chest is adorned with the Kaustubha jewel and the mark of Srivatsa. I offer pranam to Nandanandana, the expert lover of Vrindavana, who performs immaculate pastimes and who is attired in clothes which are suitable for those pastimes, and who pulverized the pride of Indra. I offer pranam to Nandanandana, who, as the lover of the Braja Gopis, perpetually delights them and who enchants the minds of all living entities. Whoever regularly recites this Sri Nandanandanashtakam will easily cross the seemingly insurmountable ocean of material existence and attain eternal distance at the lotus feet of Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Brajmohan Prabhuji. So, Hare Krishna, dear devotees, I once again welcome all of you to this Bhakti Sangha conference call. So, today we will be moving on to the next session, that is Srimad Bhagavatam, which will be given by His Grace Braja Mohan Prabhu. So, this is the Canto 7, Chapter 2, and Text 43. Hare Krishna, Braja Mohan Prabhu. Please accept my humble obeisances. All Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for giving us your valuable time in association today and for guiding us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. Please take over the call, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. The verse will be put up?
Yes, Prabhuji. We will share it.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th Canto, Chapter 7, Text 2, verse 43. Yata nalo dharushu binna iyate, yata nilo dehagata pratak sthita, yata navas sarvagatam na sajjate, tatak puman sarvagunashaya para. Yata, just as, anala, the fire, darushu, in wood, binna, separate, iyate is perceived, yata, just as, anila, the air, dehagata, within the body, pratak, separate, sthita, situated, yata, just as, navaha, the sky, sarvagata, all pervading, na, not, sajjate, mix, tata, similarly, puman, the living entity, Sarva Guna Ashraya, although now the shelter of the modes of material nature, Paraha, transcendental material contamination. Translation. As fire situated in wood is perceived to be different from the wood, as air, although situated in within the mouth and nostrils, is perceived to be separate. And as the sky, although all pervading, never mixes with anything. So the living entity, although now engaged within the material body, of which it is a source, is separate from it. Purport. In the Bhagavad Gita, the Supreme Personality of Godhead has explained that the material energy and spiritual energy both emanate from Him. The material energy is described as Me Binna Prakritir Ashtada, the 8 separated energies of the Lord. But although the 8 gross and subtle material energies, namely earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego, are stated to be binnas, separate from the Lord, actually they are not. As fire appears separate from the wood, and as the air flowing through the nostrils and mouth of the body appears separate from the body, so the Paramatma, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, appears separate from the living entity, but is actually separate and not separate simultaneously. This is the philosophy of Achintya Veda Veda Tattva, propounded by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. According to the reactions of karma, the living being appears separate from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but actually is very intimately related with the Lord. Consequently, even though we now seem neglected by the Lord, He is actually always alert to our activities. Under all circumstances, therefore, we should simply depend on the supremacy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and thus revive our intimate relationship with Him. We must depend upon the authority and control of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Karamanyam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajata Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, my sincere gratitude to all the devotees for coming on this daily Srimad Bhagavatam class online on Bhakti Sangha, and my sincere congratulations to the admin devotees who are keeping this up, and my pleasure and privilege to be amidst all the devotees. There are around 38 devotees on the call apart from me. So I guess most of you are logging from US, so it's the morning time for all of you to discuss about Bhagavatam. As it is said that, Pratah Dyuta Prasanganam and Madhyana Stri Prasanganam, Ratri Chora Prasanganam. That in the morning one should discuss about gambling, in the afternoon one should discuss about women, and the night one should discuss about thieves. This is an interesting verse. Well, obviously, this verse is referring, and in this way, an intelligent man spends his time. And Dyuta Prasanga is Mahabharat, and Bhagavad, of course, Mahabharat, Gita, and Bhagavad, which are all together. And afternoon is Ramayana, Sri Prasangana, it's all about Sita Devi, and that's why it's called as Ramayana. So Ramayana, it's the journey of Sita Devi. And Ratri Chora Prasangana, and the night about Krishna Lila, Srimad Bhagavatam. And so, of course, Prabhupada told us to discuss Chora Prasangana both in the morning and in the night also. Morning Bhagavatam we discuss, and in the night we also try to hear before we go to bed about Krishna. And so this Bhagavatam is very special for us to be able to get our minds attracted to Krishna. And the more we hear about the Supreme Lord's beautiful narrations, Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad means beautiful. So the narrations about Krishna are very beautiful. Just like the Lord is beautiful, the narrations about Lord Krishna are also very beautiful. And today we are in the midst of Narsimha Leela, and very apt or coincidental. Today only I went for darshan of Narsimha Dev here in Hyderabad. I'm currently just visiting my parents. So I went to the deity of Yadagiri Narsimha, and there are 5 Narsimha Devs here established: Jwala Narsimha, Yoga Narsimha, then Ganda Berunda Narsimha, Narsimha Dev with wings, a unique Narsimha Dev that is there. Then there is Ugra Narsimha, Jwala Narsimha, Lakshmi Narsimha, Ganda Berunda Narsimha, and another is, I think, not sure what is the name. I think Shanta Narsimha. So beautifully constructed stone temple. It's a very ancient temple of Lord Narasimha. And this particular section, apparently Narasimha came and killed Hiranyakashipu, but the whole setup, the scenario in which Lord Narasimha came, that takes from chapter 1 of 7th canto till obviously till chapter 10, 10 chapters exclusively, and then Prahlad Maharaj's teachings are 11th and 12th. Almost the whole entire 7th canto is dedicated to this one particular pastime, and the qualities that are exhibited by both how one should not be like Hiranyakashipu, and how those tendencies are there, and how one should be like Prahlad Maharaj. And a very, very important aspect herein we see is that Hiranyakashipu in this particular chapter is consoling his relatives, especially his sister-in-laws who are crying at a pain at the loss of Hiranyaksha. And Hiranyakashipu, he is consoling them, and to console them, he is speaking Atmagyan. He is speaking about the knowledge of the soul, and in reference to that, he speaks how this knowledge of the soul was directly given by Yamaraj to a kingdom where this Suyagya had died, and all these people were dying. And the Yamaraj comes as a small little boy and is giving this. And so it's a story within a story. And in that, Yamaraj is speaking this today's verse about how the soul is very imperceivable, and how we should be very alert to be able to identify the movements of the soul that are not dependent on the body. The movements of the body are dependent on the soul, but the movements of the soul are not dependent on the body. And Prabhupada adds this, clarifies this with the philosophy of the Achintya Bheda Bheda Tattva. How we are in the body, but we are not the body, and we are with God, but we are not God. So that these are two basic illusions that all of us know are bound to have, where we think we are the body and we are God. So if we are not thinking we are the body, then we start to think we are God. Those who are thinking they are the body, they are just trying to enjoy. They don't go to the conception that we are God. But those who start to understand a deeper level of reality, so they accept that we are not body, but then they jump to the conclusion that we are God. Therefore, there was a kind of surprise, interesting T-shirt that was there, that was put up by someone. Said I was an atheist till I discovered I was God. And then I believe my own self. So therefore, till I knew that I was God, then I started to believe. I started to think there is no God. So these two traps are where we all fall into. And herein Yamaraj is trying to explain in the form of a boy this concept that how both these two things should be very properly seen. That yes, we are in the body, and the whole message of the Gita is not to neglect the needs of the mind and body based on our psychophysical condition. We should be doing justice, or we should be alert to the needs, because if those needs are not met, then there is a dissatisfaction at the physical or mental level, and it won't help us. It won't allow us to focus on Krishna. Just like, say, if you're very hungry, then you're constantly thinking of food. Recently, Chaturmas ended, and Chaturmas, so many devotees, took vows. And there was one devotee who took this vow that he won't eat only grains, and worshipping Krishna is special, and worshipping Krishna with tapasya is even special. But in doing tapasya, if one is losing a lot of time, then that kind of his consciousness is somewhere else. Then the point? Therefore, tapasa na aradito tapa na aradito yadi Vishnu tapasa tatakim yadi aradito Vishnu tapasa tatakim antar bahir yadi Vishnu tapasa tatakim na antar bahir Vishnu tapasa tatakim. So this verse by Narada Muni, he says that if you are worshipping Krishna, what is the need of doing tapasya? Because when you're worshipping Krishna, whatever difficulties or all these things, they don't appear to be tapasya, they are joy. Therefore, Bhakti Thakur says, Tomara sevaya dukkha mora parama sukha. That in whatever miseries, difficulties, anxieties come, actually Prabhupada, when he was in Juhu, devotees told him, Prabhupada, it is very noisy here. We will it is very noisy here. We because the Jew temple was being built. Should we try to shift you somewhere else? And Prabhupada said, no, this is kirtan for me. So for a devotee, even if he is in tapasya, when he worshipping Krishna, it doesn't seem to be a tapasya. And if someone is not worshipping Krishna, then na aradito yadi Vishnu tapasa tatakim. And if you're not worshipping Krishna, then what is the use of the tapasya? What is it? So therefore tapasya is a very involved, is a needed thing to detach ourselves from the body and physical limitations of the body. And sometimes it also helps for us to develop compassion, empathy, and gratitude for the food that we are getting, for the capacity to nourish ourselves and all this. So, so during Kartik, so many tapasyas were done. But if the tapasya is taking your time away from Krishna, say I was telling about one devotee who that only one meal he would take, and in the evening he used to try to subsist on juices. And to make these juices, he used to get a grinder, a juice mixer, then procuring all those oranges, cut them, make the juice, remove all the, clean it up. Almost it just take like 1 to 1.5 hour exercise. And used to drink the juice. Nice. But then, if you go to kitchen, then you can finish your prasadam in 10-15 minutes. And then you have you have said almost 1 hour. So if a tapasya is apparently taking your time away from Krishna, then that tapasya is not truly beneficial. So in this way, everything should be calibrated, gauged according to whether we are bringing it closer to Krishna, whether things are bringing us closer to Krishna or not. Same way, the body. Same way, the body, it should not be neglected, nor should it be worshipped. It should be used, and therefore transcendental knowledge is needed for us to be alert to the understanding that yes, we cannot immediately come out. Recently in Puri Yatra, Maharaj was saying that the emotions that Mahaprabhu exhibited in Gambhira is way beyond our adhikar, our realization. And we should gauge it with the first step in self-realization, which is to know that whether we are still identified with the body, we are still dependent on the body. And if we don't clear that a basic first step. Then trying to understand the pastimes of Mahaprabhu or trying to judge them or is foolishness, is inappropriate. We should greatly hear and honor these pastimes, but we not understand. Like Mahaprabhu, when sometimes he used to vanish from Gambhira, and devotees to search, they used to run to the sea where is Mahaprabhu. And sometimes Mahaprabhu was found in the sea, sometimes he was found near the temple with his whole body becoming like a ball, everything went inside. So that are high levels of ecstasy. But the basic Atma Gyan, which apparently Hiranyakashipu is giving, even that we have not, which I have not yet come to facts. Obviously, even Hiranyakashipu himself, he is pretty much in the bodily concept. But as it said, to give advice is why quite easy. Therefore, it said, easier said than done. So, and of course, even devotees, we do preach, we do try to share this message, but there is always this attempt to try to inculcate these principles. Whereas here, Hiranyakashipu is apparently preaching this philosophy of Atmagyan, but immediately he gets angry, and after this, after they are consoled and the body is burnt, he takes his mission to take vengeance on Vishnu for killing his brother. So the verse here gives us 3 examples, and this is called as Sankhya Yoga. It is a you reach Krishna, you detach from the bodily concept by analysis, by properly analyzing that what exactly is the fault here, or what exactly is the light here. Just like you may see behind me, there is this beautiful temple of Radha Vamshi Gopalji at my home. So there is a light, small light, and you may see the bulb, and you may think that it is the glass that is glowing. But if the glass is glowing, then it should be glowing all the time. Only when I switch on the light, the glass glows. So is it the electricity connected to the glass? If electricity is connected to the glass, if I touch it, then I should also be passing electricity. But I don't. It doesn't conduct electricity. So then you start to see that behind that glass is actually a bulb, and within the bulb is a filament, and within the filament is that within that bulb is the filament between two anode and cathode, and when the current runs, because of the heat that is generated, that heat comes out as light. So the true feature of the bulb is that no matter how well you decorate, how costly is your external bulb features, it may be golden, it may be water, but if the filament is not properly there, then all that is useless. So same way, so a devotee analyzes that where am I getting the capacity to speak, the capacity to move? Is it in the body? The body is apparently inert matter. So here 3 examples are given of a wood, of nostrils or mouth or nostrils, fire in the wood, air in the nostrils, and sky everywhere. Now, wood is a product of fire. How the sun rays, it falls on the tree, and the tree grows. Without the sun, the tree. So when the small little plant keeps absorbing all the sunlight, all the fire, that tree is accumulated fire, and although it has accumulated fire, apparently you don't see the fire. And only when you put the wood under fire for some time, it starts to catch fire, and then all the fire that is within starts to come out. Otherwise, you may keep just a small little fire, and then the fire starts to come, and and as the wood emanates fire, you start to see that the wood existence goes down. How much fire comes, that much the wood starts to it converts. So the wood converts into fire because it's there. The fire is there in the wood, but it takes something to bring it out. And then the air is within our nostrils. It's within, and currently there is some cough issue that I'm in because the air that was too cold had entered my system and it's affecting the throat. Or most of the air goes through the nostrils or the ears. So the air is going and coming out. I can say that now this is my air. I try to block the nostrils that this is my air, but the air doesn't belong to me. Only when I allow it to come in and go out, then I will be healthy. And the prana shakti, one is Agni Shakti, then is prana shakti. The prana shakti is what is maintaining this body, and the prana is different from the sharira. The body is different from the life airs. And the third thing which is given is the sky, which is and the sky. No, the sky may be in a. This example is given. Ghatakash, Patakash. This example is given by sometimes Mayavadis impersonalists. They say there is air in the pot, and you say the pot is filled with air. But when you break the pot, the whatever air is there in the pot, it mixes with the outside air. So therefore, Ghata Akash. Inside the Ghata is the air, is the Akash, is the space, and Fata. And when the Ghata is Fata means break. When you break the pot, then the whatever is inside, it mixes with everything. Same way they say that now the life air is in this body. This is like a pot, and Ghatapash. When this body is broken, then that life air merges with the infinite life air that is outside, and therefore we become more God, which is a wrong understanding because the amount of space that the pot occupies doesn't expand when it breaks. It is still the same space. If you keep another pot again, it is the same size. So therefore, there is some truth to these understandings, but they are qualitative understandings that the air, that the jiva that is within the body and the jiva that is liberated, existentially they are same, but currently because they are conditioned by sattva, rajas and tamas, they are not the same. So all this is called as Sankhya, and without and therefore even Krishna in the Gita he first makes this understanding, the spiritual understanding, spiritual foundation to Arjuna before he starts to speak that how one should work for for utilizing whatever God has given in service to him rather than neglecting that. So herein, and this knowledge becomes very relevant to us when we are seeing someone pass away and we are mourning, and therefore especially this kind of knowledge should be reflected and more when we see death, when we see someone passing away. And this knowledge starts to, because the person was just there. The wood is there, but the fire is gone. The body is there, but the air is gone. And and that is the spiritual element, that is the soul, which is now missing from the body. And only when the soul is there, is there vitality, is there only when the soul is there movement, is there awareness. And very appropriately Hiranyakashipu is telling about the Atma Gyan, but he didn't go a step further, that where is this soul coming from? The body, he's speaking about how body is different from soul, but what is the origin of the soul, and what is the nature of the soul, which he is not focusing, is not giving them complete understanding, because he himself does not believe that Vishnu is God, or Vishnu is the source of all of our creation, all the souls. So therefore, sometimes it happens that we read through scriptures, but we only take that which we are interested in, that which we are wanting to know, or curious about. This is called as selective vision. That it only grabs, we only catch that which we like. Just like in Govardhan Puja, when we are doing the parikrama of Govardhan Ji, then only few items we are able to catch, or it sticks to our memory. Those items that which we are eyeing upon, which we want. Although we see a lot, even our eyes, the many things that are in front of, so much light is coming from everywhere, but it can only focus on one particular thing, and sometimes we miss to see other things. And even in Srila Prabhupada's life, we the over 50 books now that have been written about Prabhupada, and each devotee is speaking from different perspectives, different levels of understanding. And it's amazing that even after 50 years of ISKCON, so much about Srila Prabhupada is coming out. And recently Yaduvarapu has come out with all this footage, which was never seen before. So much about Prabhupada's movements. So one particular person, if he has so much narratives and understandings. So what to speak of Krishna, and what to speak of spiritual understanding. So therefore, we should constantly be trying to be alert, that let me not be in the bodily conscious. And the moment we start to be in the bodily conscious, Prabhupada says, then envy creeps in. In the purport to, in the Damodar Leela, when Prabhupada speaks about Nalakubera Manigreva pastime, so he speaks that all human beings have this food. Someone is speaking. All human beings have these four faults, which we all might have heard in Ishopanishad, the introduction. One is we have defective senses. So because we have defective senses, we are not able to properly understand things, and therefore we are illusioned. We think what is not to be there, and because we are illusioned, we make mistakes, and when we make mistakes, and because we are still illusioned, we want to cover up the mistakes, therefore we cheat. So Prabhupada writes that when a living entity is in the bodily consciousness, then he has these four limitations. And because of these limitations, he starts to envy others, because he starts to see, because of his defective vision, he only sees, oh, this person is rich, this person is beautiful. He's not able to see the complete picture of them. Recently I was in Hyderabad, Bombay, and I was in a program and I was asking devotees in Worli that during COVID time, how many of you got sick, got COVID? And I was surprised, 80% of the people of them, none of them got COVID, none of them had any fever, and they were in fact moving, they were doing their regular duties those 2 years, they were going for work, they were roaming around. So and they didn't, this virus didn't affect them because from inside they had such strong immunity. So, and we know people, know that even in our devotees, many of them passed away. So somebody may be rich in wealth, but is richness only with wealth that can be compared? Somebody may be very rich with wealth, but if he is not rich in health, then all that health may be lost, all that wealth may be lost for procuring the health. So much money goes in hospitals. But say if somebody is rich in health, then most of the money is saved. So richness has many aspects. So if somebody is seeing life with his defective senses, then he can only see what he perceives and he makes, therefore he is illusion. And then even in the Bhagavatam, first verse, Brahma Vasudeva speaks, Janma Jaseta Anvadu Anvaya Itaratas Abhigya Swarat Tene Brahma Dadaya Adikave Muyanti Yat Surya. That all the living, even the devatas are bewildered by Krishna's material energy. And Prabhupada speaks about two energies that are there, Antaranga Shakti and Bahiranga Shakti, internal potency and external potency, and body being the external energy and the soul being the marginal or the internal energy, based on where it wants to be situated. And in that, the next line is Tejo Vari Mridam Vita Vinimayo Yatra Trisargo Mrisha. So in these three planets, everybody is being illusioned. Tejo Vari. So where there is water, sometimes you see water, and water appears to be like fire because of sun. The water appears to be like fire, and you don't want to go near fire because it's so bright. You start to think maybe it's a volcano or it's something. And sometimes in a desert, there is sand, but you start to see water. Sometimes even on the roads, you see when there is these slopes up and down, and the far you start to imagine or start to see that there is actually water. Anyway, and the person may start to run to get that water because he's so desperate. So Tejo Vari. So where there is Vari, water, he starts to see fire. And Vari Mridam. And where there is Mrida, Mrida means matti. Like Krishna's one of the names is Mrida Bhaksha, one who ate the mati of Vrindavan. So where there is mud, he starts to see as water. So this is the illusion that we are. And if we don't know, are aware that my defective senses are there, let me not fully believe my senses or my analysis, then there is a tendency to commit mistakes. You may misjudge people, you may commit blunders, and then we try to cover it up with cheating. We try to put the whole blame on the other person, like that. So Prabhupada writes that Nalakuber and Manigriva, when they were in the waters, suddenly out of nowhere, Narada Muni comes. So when Narada Muni comes, all these other girls of heavens, they cover themselves. But Nalagora Marigriva, they start to justify. They start to justify that. Why is he coming into our area? That this is not a place for vihar of sadhus. Sadhus should not be coming here. And what is that place? It's a holy place. It's Mandakini Ganga. The sadhus have Narad Muni all the right to come and take shelter of Mother Ganga. So instead of knowing that it was him who made the mistake, he was trying to point mistake in Narad Muni coming there, and therefore they didn't cover themselves, and they thought, what is the need that now we are here, and it is who I. Like sometimes devotees, we are taking prasad, and somebody just pops in, says, what to do? He came at the wrong time. I am having my prasad. So not like that. So immediately Narad Muni curses them. So there Prabhupada writes that when we are envious of Guru, when we are affected by these four mistakes, then there is a tendency to be envious of devotees, and there is a tendency to be envious of Guru and ultimately Krishna. So if you want to remove our envy towards devotees, towards Krishna, towards Guru, then we should know that as long as I'm in the bodily concept of life and affected by this, and not aware that I'm being affected by this, then they'll always make mistakes and throw the buck on others. And so therefore, being in the bodily consciousness is not just, we are the body, we are, but we are just trying to be in this body, but it actually hampers our spiritual progress. Therefore, as part of our spiritual routine, we try to do some fasting, try to understand through our own analysis and service and seeing other devotees. I remember long back, I had gone to Jagannath Puri, I think 2000 or 2001, first time as an IIT student, and first time I ever wore dhoti in my life by a devotee. And we had gone for Jagannath's darshan, and when we went that time, everybody was allowed till Jagannath and we could embrace, and there was a lot of water and kind of muddy situation in front of Jagannath, and this particular devotee was next to me. He just offered his obeisances right in all that muddy thing, full prostrated obeisances. Naturally, when he got up, there was no muddy water all over his body. But if Jagannath is right in front of you, that never mind what, and obvious. And even till today, I can't do that. Maybe rare occasions, but I could immediately grasp that I am so conscious of my clothes. My clothes getting worn or getting muddied, or my body being tired and things. And I'm not at all at the spiritual platform where you don't care for any of this and you just immersed. Obviously, we should not be foolhardy also. We should take care of the body, but in that name, we should never undermine that I'm taking care of the body because I'm in the bodily concept, because I'm so dependent on the body. And sometimes devotees also try to eventually try to go beyond the body needs, and then they fall back. Maharaj speaks. Some devotees, they wanted to go to Mayapur and chant all through 192 rounds like Haridas Thakur, and after a few years they were not to be found because in the movement, because that ati sadhana, that their sadhana beyond their adhikar only burned them. So as we develop more, it has to be a gradual process. Therefore, Krishna in the Gita, he says, Ragadeshu vimuktesu vishyan indriyeshwaran atma vashe videyatma prasadam adhikachati. One wants to achieve my mercy, then one should try to not act based on one's desire and hate. These two things are very much imperceptibly there. Whatever we do, we are either motivated by attachment or hatred. Raga Dvesh Muktis Vishyan Indriya Shara. And when we are moving out in the world around us, naturally we may like something, we may hate something. But that should be just at the very awareness level, not at the attachment level. Not that we are very much attached to that opinion that I don't like this, I like this. Yes, we may have our preferences. We are all people, we are all persons. So naturally, it's not that if your guru likes a particular item, you also should like that item, then only you are a loyal follower of the guru. No, we all will be different individuals. But it should not go to that attachment level that I hate my this particular devotee or this because he likes something that I don't like. So rather than Muktesh Vishyanindriyeshwaran, Atma Vashir Videya Atma. That, and I also know explained this in the recent book Gita Sutras. Atma Vashir means in your capacity, whatever is in your capacity, Videya Atma. Follow the vidhis, the rules and regulations that voluntarily, according to your capacity. Of course, try to increase your capacity as much. Don't be attached again, or don't be hating even at this level. Atma Vishir Videya Atma. To be a Videya Atma, we try to be very loyal to the rules that you are trying to follow. But Atma Vishir, according to your capacity. And then if you try to do that slowly and gradually, prasadam adhigachati. Krishna Dharma says, prasadam gachati. Is this prasadam adhigachati? Means slowly but surely you will achieve my mercy. You are in the path. You are in the line. You will be receiving that drone of Krishna Prasad if you are sincerely trying to take step by step. That's why most temples have this stairs climbs to climb. And some devotees, some people, they just try to run, and when they run they get exhausted and then they sit, and sometimes they may have even health issues because of that. And there are some who get demotivated. Oh, this is too big, too much, and they don't even want to do, they just want to go back. Yes. And some who just take two stairs at a time, and slowly but surely they start to come up. So even with the bodily concept of life that we don't totally dissolve it. I don't want to hear about that, nor are we foolishly try to act on that. Slowly we try to come out of that through analysis and through absorption in service. And when we do that, as it is explained, we start to see that how currently I am dependent on the body, but eternally I am not dependent on the body. The body is actually dependent on me. Just like mobiles. Mobiles are dependent on us. For charging, for recharging, whatever. But in the day-to-day use, we become dependent on the mobiles. So therefore we should come back to our originality, that let us use the gadget. Let us not identify with these things so much that it starts to become us, which happens. And this is called in the neurosciences as neuroplasticity. That whatever we start to use a lot, we start to identify with that. We start to think that this is mine, either it's our house or car or our body. And the mind has this tendency to identify how much ever it can. Sometimes like elections are happening, this is my locality, this is my country, and obviously there is a role to play in whatever the situations for society, for body, for family, but it should not be the ultimate goal. This is only a role that we are playing. And herein we get this clues from Hiranyakashipu, but we also understand that Hiranyakashipu is, because he is not actually a devotee, this philosophy is not going into his heart. He is not trying to apply it. He is just trying to reply it. So he knows the answers, but he's not trying to search for the questions. That am I truly becoming there? And sometimes this tendency also comes in preachers, those we speak, but we don't follow. So this is another lesson we try to get from this section. I'll stop here and see if any devotees have any comments, questions, or corrections. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dhanurams. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for a very nice, wonderful class. Yes, Hiranyakashipu, although he is a demon, he has read the scriptures, but the thing is, he is advising others, but it is he is not following, he is not realizing, he is not having the self-realization. And that's what even Prabhupada has also mentioned in so many of his purports that though having the Vedic knowledge, if they are not utilizing it, then it's just a waste of time of reading all those scriptures. So thank you so much, Prabhuji. Let me check if any questions are there. Devotees, any questions or comments? Please go ahead. Yeah, I think there is a question from Radha Jyoti Mataji in the chat box. She's asking, defects in sense means identifying. This identification is we do or act. Every moment that passes point to where our identification is. Is my understanding correct? Mataji is asking about her understanding.
Defects in sense identifying. Mataji, can you
Radha
ask
Mataji,
this?
can you speak out on this?
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam, Madhuji. Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, you mentioned about the defects in senses. The question goes to that particular statement. So the defects in senses is the identification, right? Because we identify the object or the things as per our understanding for our own utilization without Krishna. And when we think that it should be utilized for the service of Krishna, then the defects in the senses will go down or it will be purified. So is my understanding correct that the identification goes on every movement that we pass on, because we tend to use some or the other thing for the need for that particular thing or the situation? So that was my question.
Mataji, the identifying the mistakes, the defective senses that I'm saying, that because we are in the conditioned this body, our capacity to perceive reality is limited. So when we are not aware that we are the body and we are limited human beings, and when we try to gauge, understand everything based on this bodily level, then we commit mistakes, and that's when we fall into trouble. So therefore, first is to become aware that don't try to judge everything and everyone based on how we perceive, and that comes from the bodily, this root idea that I am not the body. If you're not acting on that level, then you'll never be able to come out of fault finding mentality, which often affects devotees. So I was just explaining why we need to be alert to this very core principle of that we are not the body, because it becomes a big bottleneck, just like somebody doesn't understand even basic subtraction or multiplication, and then he goes on to do calculus. It will be a very big difficulty for him, and that's what happens to us, that we read these things and we go to higher subjects, take up services, take up positions, but when we don't not aware of the basics of spirituality, which Hiranyakashipu is also mentioning here, but so then we tend to fall in great trouble. So just try to avoid that. That's what I was mentioning.
So the defects in senses are the conditioning, you mean, Prabhuji?
Conditioning of the way humans see reality, and also within that, just like we might have heard in Gita courses, that how eyes can only see in the visible range, ears can only hear, so things like that, or our mind can only process based on whatever facts it has been fed. Mind cannot imagine something which it has never been seen in any of its lives. So, both in terms of the conditioning that is there, and also the human body that each of us possess. So both limit the senses.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Eternally grateful to you for your answer. Thank you so much for clarification. Thank you for enlivening class. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for that nice reply. So I don't find any more hand raise or questions in the chat box. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji, for very nice class, and thank you for your valuable time and association and coming on the call and giving us this association. So we want your association in future also. Devotees, let's pay our obeisances to Prabhuji. Vancha kalpa tripasya kripa His Grace Braj Mohan Prabhuji ki
Hare
jai.